Hey guys, it's me, John, host of MGTOW is Freedom, having a scotch tonight. I want to tell you guys, I hope you had a happy Easter, but you won't see this video probably till Monday morning. But it's been a nice Easter, as nice as it can get considering this fucking world we live in, right? But, I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for sponsoring me on Patreon, PayPal. I don't have to have that to live, right? I've got several good jobs that I work to pay my bills. But you guys say, John, I want to have a scotch. I want to buy you a stogie, right? And so you do, and so I accept it, and I thank you very much. I know there's a lot of people out there on YouTube that are actually making a living off that. Crazy. Crazy that it could just be taken away just like that. And I wanted to kind of tie MGTOW videos and video makers to men who get married. See, they married their professional life to a troublesome bride, an unpredictable bride, a YouTube bride, right? And that was supposed to satisfy their need. And it looks like YouTube turned around, bitch slapped video producers of all sorts, took their shit and left. Kind of like a man who gets divorced. Right? Things are fine one day, with no warning, out of the blue, it's all gone. And I really am sorry that people did that, and we're making a good income. I'm not sorry about that, but that they had it pulled out from under them. That the contract that they had signed, much like a marriage contract, was designed to benefit the MGTOW producer the same way the marriage contract benefits the man, up until the point that the party with the real power, i.e. the wife or YouTube, decides to change their mind. Right. So that sort of thinking and a scotch has gotten me to do this video. It's about the price of things. Right? Are you willing to pay the price for what you get? Right? So this thing is, this saying, this idea or concept that men need a woman. You need a woman. Well, it's nice to have a woman caring for you, if she's caring for you. But, the reason men do that and take a woman is they're told they need one. They're told that you're going to be lonely or bored. You're going to be horny without them. You're going to be curious about love and romance. And the way that's satisfied is with a woman. I am a extreme introvert. I have the ability to speak publicly. I have the ability to be around people, but it hurts a lot. So I come on YouTube here, and it's easy. I'm just talking to my camera right now. That's it. It's easy for me to do. I'm not getting any feedback, not getting any guff, no pissing, bitching, moaning, whining, complaining, sniveling, crying, etc. And I can do this. And it's a great relationship I have with my phone and with YouTube. But I'm not married to it. I don't have to have the money it provides. It's just some spare change that helps pay the bills a little bit. But now that's been replaced with you guys and Patreon and PayPal. So thank you very much once again for the scotch and the stogies. And I hope you had a good Easter. And it's off to the next week. But, looking back, men need a woman. Do we? We really do? Right? And again, why? Well, you're told that someone needs to take care of you, that you're lonely, that you're bored, right? That you're interested in romance and love, and you're curious about living with one, and it makes you horny, and you're supposed to be satisfied. But I find women to be a nuisance. But that's just me. I try in the past to talk to them and have them as girlfriends, and they've been terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Right? And it does extract a huge toll on me because I'm divorced, and I filed for divorce 2 years ago and have been 6 months finaled. Still got a lot of baggage I carry around with that. I have no interest in getting right back into that because of the price, you see, the price. So when you talk about getting a woman, are you willing, gentlemen, to pay the price? Is the exchange worth what you get? In common parlance, modern parlance, is the juice worth the squeeze? Right? Well, I can squeeze my own juice. And I have, and I do. And You know, it's every bit as satisfying as far as I'm concerned in a lot of ways, because when I'm done, I'm done. No one there bitching at me. No one saying, okay, now can I take the car for a spin? No one doing any of that. No one saying, now I want that ring, or now I want what I want. Right? Always demanding and demanding more for a little bit of juice. Forget it. You know, I just don't have the patience, right? I don't have the emotional energy to invest in a woman. You know, forget it, right? So then you go, okay, well, what is it you really exchange as a man? What is it you exchange in order to get your horny satisfied, or your romantic bill filled, or to interrupt some of the loneliness, right, or the boredom? Well, you know, I think if you're bored and lonely, go hang out with the guys. Get a fucking hobby. So it really comes down to fucking and romance and someone getting you a sandwich, right? Do I need company at night? I don't. Maybe some of you guys do. But we're going to look at the price. I'm going to talk about the price you pay. Women are frustrating. Number one, right off the bat, frustration comes from them because they do not think like men. You know, as a curiosity, they're interesting, but they don't think like men. You can ask them question A, and they'll give you answer Q, and you're like, no, I don't want Q or P or R or T or Z. I asked about A. Right? And so they frustrate you. They change the subject. They don't do as they're told, right? And so that leads to aggravation. Women are very aggravating. And it's not that they're bad or that you don't like them or think they're attractive, but it's just fucking aggravating. Right? I'm 47. I get aggravated very easily. Right? I've had enough. I've had my fill of the bullshit when I was married. I don't want it anymore. I don't need that in my life. So this idea that you could guilt me into having a woman or shame me into it is completely laughable. You know? But when you take that frustration and aggravation, it can turn into anger. Literally turn into anger. Because as a man, it starts appearing that women do things on purpose, intentionally. That they don't obey, they don't even listen. Or they refuse to listen, or they sidestep things. And so that leads to ultimately anger. And if they convince you it's your fault, that you don't listen, that you don't understand, that you don't get it, that you're speaking the wrong language, right? That leads to confusion. Right? You're like, what, am I a retard? And they do this gaslighting thing where you're like, no, you said this. And they're like, oh, I never said that. And then they start telling you how you're wrong. Right? And that leads to self-doubt. Self-doubt. Ultimately, it leads to disappointment in the relationship. Now, in order to satisfy your romantic need or your horniness or your desire to be loved, you end up engaging in a relationship that is frustrating and aggravating and makes you angry and confused and self-doubt, right? And it's disappointing. So what we're being told by women in culture and society is you need to have one of them. And it's worth trading your peace of mind, right? It's worth trading for romance and for sex and for some companionship. It's worth trading and getting frustrated and aggravated and pissed off and disappointed, right? The other thing that happens in a relationship when you get a woman is you have a loss of self, right? Your identity as a man. It disappears because it goes from a we to an us. And that us typically leads to her wants, her needs. Because women are marvelous manipulators at turning what you need as a man into what she wants as a woman. It goes from she saying she's going to satisfy you. And then when you say, this is what I want to be satisfied, she refuses to do it. Right? And you end up playing her game instead of her playing your game. And so you lose your identity. Just like that. Now, why should you retain your identity and she abandon hers? Well, it's because you're the man. You're the valuable one. You're the one that produces the money. You make shit happen. You are the creative one. It's not that women can't do things, they can't make money, or they can't be creative. But this is your life as a man. And it is men. It is a man's world. It is men who make it happen. Right? You get up every day. Every day you get up. You look in the mirror and you tell yourself there's no one else but you to get it done. It is just you. You're the man. You have the penis. If something's going to happen and it's good, it's because you make it happen. It doesn't fucking accidentally happen. It doesn't fall out of the sky and hit you in the head and happen. It doesn't happen because someone thinks you deserve it. It happens because you make it happen and you fucking earn it. But you're a man and you need a woman because you want love and romance. Right? You're horny. When you lose yourself, right? When you join a woman, you lose your independent choice because now you have to consider her in everything you do. Does she like that? Does she not like that? Right? And yeah, there's supposed to be some giving and some sacrifice. But if you listen to the complaint men make, that's really not what happens. It becomes her choice. It kind of starts as his, and then it moves to we very quickly. And then it moves to her, and you've lost your independence of choice. You can lose your friends. Very few men, once they've got a woman, retain their friends. Retain their friendships. It used to be like pulling teeth for me to go golfing on a weekend. To get away. Because she felt upset by that, or abandoned. Or she felt jealous that I was spending time with my friends. That I wanted to do something that I wanted to do that didn't involve her in the least because she didn't like golf. Well, I'm sorry you didn't like golf is what I should have said, but I'm going to go fucking play golf when I feel like it. Right? Which would have been gaining myself. But they love to throw guilt, shame on top of that. Well, it's family time. Right? Well, I just played a great round of golf with my son this weekend. You know, he kicked my ass. I kept up with him for a while, but ultimately, yeah, his stamina to swing the fucking irons, he beat me at the end. Good golfer. Good stroke he has. But when you end up with a woman in order to satisfy your romantic needs, your horniness and your desire for love, right? You give up yourself, right? You become aggravated, confused, worried, and it raises self-doubt. Then you can lose your choice of independent thought, independent direction in your life. You lose your friends. You really can lose your direction in life because you're starting off and you say, okay, this is my career. I'm going that way. And you start to go. Then you end up with a woman and she changes that. She says, well, I have needs and you have to satisfy my needs. And then you start doing that and you realize you've lost direction. You've veered off and now you're going in her direction. Right? And of course you wanted the woman for sex, but after a while, she'd rather not fuck. She'd rather not. She's got a headache. Her ass hurts. Right? She's tired of that. She doesn't like the way you do it. Her pussy hurts. It's degrading. That's one I used to always hear. Fuck, it's degrading what you do to me. I'm thinking, well, the girls in the porn movies seem to like it. Oh, fuck, I'm hilarious. But you get into this frustrating, aggravating, disappointing relationship where you lose your independence, you lose your choice, you lose your self-identity. Ultimately, the exact reasons you get into the relationship, romance, love, and sex, you lose that. She takes it away from you and she starts using it as a bargaining chip. So the very things that caused you to want a woman, you see her take it away. When she says, no, you can't do that, or no, you can't have that. Or she starts telling you when you can have it, and then taking that away. And at this point that you're in all the way with this woman, and you say, is she at that point, you go, is she worth the risk of losing half my shit? Is she worth that risk? Well, it's too late. You've now taken that risk because you're married to her. You've now taken the risk. You took the bait. You put your nuts in the bear trap. And now you have to hope she doesn't change her mind, because she can always change her mind. She can always say, well, I told you it wasn't about money, but it actually is. She can say, well, I told you I'd always love you, but actually I don't. And now I'm going to call the cops and say, you beat me. Right? So, what can you lose? Well, you can lose your stuff. You risk losing your stuff. You risk, in order to get some love and romance, you lose your hobbies. And I've got a nice Dillon progressive reloader, and I enjoyed shooting. And I just requalified for my concealed weapons permit, and the sheriff's deputy who holds the course and the qualification goes, man, you shoot better than all the cops that I know. And, I took that as a thank you very much. I was a fucking rifle expert and a badass in the Marines, and I've still fucking got it. But, when I was married, I wasn't allowed to shoot, right? She just didn't like me doing it. Oh, it just seems dangerous, and it scares her. And that didn't stop me from doing it, but it certainly put a damper on the hobby. And I also described golfing. Oh, it didn't involve her. I said, well, if you want to go golfing, go ahead. You want to go shooting, go ahead. And she didn't want anything to do with that. That wasn't her life. She wanted to steer me in a different direction in her way. And when you come down to the end of it, all of this stuff, the frustration, the anger, the confusion, right? The loss of yourself, your identity, your independence, your own choices, your own direction in life, you lose something extremely valuable. But before I get to that, I want to talk about, not income, not losing that, not losing your property, not losing your retirement. We've discussed that a lot of times. I want to talk about losing your health, losing your sanity, in a manner of speaking, and losing peace in your life, peace of mind. When you're single and you're a man, all you are is horny, curious about women. You have a romantic desire that needs to be fulfilled, right? But is that worth trading everything about you to get, right? Now, when I say peace, I mean the tranquility of your life. The lack of argument and strife and trying to get a woman to obey you and stay on track with you, right? And this literally has a toll on your health. It has a massive toll on your health, dealing with women and their stuff. I still suffer, believe it or not, from symptoms of depression because of all the shit I've been through. Years and years of psychological abuse by a woman can bring your health down. And it's a struggle to deal with that shit. Right? I'm not on antidepressants, but I can feel it taking its toll. It's not just the woman. It's the man has his whole life, his direction, his work, his dreams, his efforts, his retirement, his vacations, whatever it is the man wants. That's hard enough doing it. But when you come home and the woman you have gives you fucking guff over everything and won't listen to you, she won't answer your fucking questions, she won't obey you, she whines, snivels, and cries and begs and demands for you to satisfy her needs first. Or she takes care of you a little bit and then demands that all of her needs be met after that. That takes a toll on your peace, the tranquility that a man can live in. And I know this movie is ridiculous, but I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's called My Fair Lady, starring Rex Harrison and the broad. I can't remember her fucking name. Honestly, I can't. She's a very famous actress, cute as a button, pain in the ass in the movie, and fucking Henry Higgins is a confirmed old bachelor that gets caught up and entangled with this woman. And he ends up thinking he needs her. And all of his peace, his tranquility, gets wrapped around her life and what it is they're doing, because he has a bet that he can transform her from a gutter snipe, which is what he calls her, into a lady. And we talk about a lot of times on here transforming, right, whores into housewives. And in the movie, she starts a gutter snipe and she ends a gutter snipe. It's just she speaks more beautifully. She knows how to behave. That is, she is now a trained rat who fucks with him. He's given her so much, and she acts completely and totally unappreciative and then fucks with him. And she gets into his head at the end. But it's a cute movie, and it's an old movie. Audrey Hepburn is the girl's name. It's a great movie. But and it's a musical, and it's a great movie. And he sings, I'll never have a woman in my life. Right? And then he lets her in. Whoops. And there went his peace, his tranquility, his health, his sanity. Right? He was flustered and fucked up and frustrated and aggravated and mad and confused and had self-doubt and disappointment in the end of the movie. And everyone's happy because they're kind of together at the end. Right? They don't get married, thankfully, but they kind of get together. But you can see how it fucks up Professor Henry Higgins. But it is one of my all-time favorite movies because for most of the movie, he is die-hard MGTOW. I love that movie. But, it ultimately comes down to peace. You lose your peace. You lose your health. You lose the tranquility of the life a man can live for himself. And the question begs to be asked, is it worth the price of having a little romance, having your desire for sex met, right? And your curiosity about what these women are about? If you get a woman, you start to realize really fast what it's all about. And if you don't get out soon enough, you end up in a position where she has power over you, over your life. She controls the amount of peace and tranquility you have. That's something I'm not going to give up. That's something I don't ever want to give up again. I mean, if I want sex, I can find a prostitute. It's not too far. Not too far for me to go to legally get it. Right? If I need or have the desire to totally dominate sexually a woman and make her submit to me, I'll fucking pay for it that way. Because the toll that marriage took on me, it has affected my health. It has affected my peace. And they are not worth the price. The price to get what you want from them. And in the end, and ultimately, you'll find out that what you want and what they give is only temporary. They promise the world and they deliver peanuts. And that is my problem with these feminist whores. Right? These feminist thieves. Right? And they're getting tricky. They're upping their game. So you guys have to be wary. Have to be wary. So thank you again, guys. I'm going to step out, and I want you to have a great week. Thank you for the scotch and the stogies. Thank you for supporting this channel. It's great. Good little tips. And in turn, it gives me a measure of satisfaction knowing you've enjoyed these videos, knowing they're of value to you and others. So please, hit the share button or copy and paste the URL or internet address in Facebook, in Twitter, right? In Gmail or email, or however you need to do it, right? Even text messaging. Share these videos, not just mine, but everyone's MGTOW videos. Share them with other men. But be wary, women are watching, women are curious, women want to learn. Why is it men are giving up? They want to know. But you need to be wary of them. Because no matter how good the woman is, it's going to take its toll. There's a price to pay, and there's a risk, ultimately, of losing your shit. No matter how much they protest that they would never do that to you. The threat is still real. Right? And when you walk out in the field and you get bit by a rattlesnake, you look at the snake and you say, why the fuck did you bite me? I didn't step on you. It goes, well, you came close, and I am, after all, a rattlesnake. Right? You get close to a feminist, you're going to get bit. So you guys be cool, right? Semper Fi. MGTOW is freedom. I have the penis. I'll talk to you guys later.